Hi everybody. Today we're going to do probably a predominantly a glute little session. And so we're going to be thinking about the bottom and we're going to be using a chair. However, I want to just begin with a nice warm-up for our spine. So we always need this integration between the pelvis, the spine, the rest of the body. So the pelvis is very much a focal point of our movements, which we'll see when we're doing our glute exercises. So we're going to begin just thinking about rotation. And I want you to remember what it was like to think about taking the pistol out of the back pocket. My front hand is forwards, back hand comes back. And just work your way up to this. Very much thinking about stability through the pelvis, whilst we're thinking about mobility in our middle back. So what I don't want to happen here is that your shoulder collapses forwards, your elbow sticks out. So really think about length in the shoulder blades, the movement coming from that middle back, rotating and rotating. Rotation and rotation. Keep thinking you're growing tall through the crown of your head. And I'm taking a gentle outward press on my inner knee on the front hand. Let's do a couple more. And rotate and all the way back. And now we're going to think about lateral flexion. So still the pelvis is very stable. One arm can come up, modify if this doesn't feel good to you. The other hand can just be down by your side. And I'm going to think about parting the rib cage. And my opposite seat bone is going to push downwards as we laterally flex across. All the way back. So the pelvis is still very much a part of this. The ribs come apart, but the opposite seat bone is pushing down. And back. And again, arm comes up. Try not to make it about your head coming away from your arm. All the way back. Arm comes up. I'm trying to keep the head close to the arm. Parting those ribs and pushing my opposite seat bone down. And we'll just do one more each side. Arm up. Lateral flexion to the side. And back. Last one. Arm up. Lateral flexion to the side. And you can just draw your hip bones lightly backwards. Imagining almost like sit this way. Almost like a wheel that's going backwards. So I want you to visualize that wheel sensation going backwards. And back onto your seat bones again, just two more of these, just stretching out the low back. And all the way back, one more, stretching out the low back. Really think about this big almost cog, circular cog moving backwards. And then back onto the seat bones. So I'm going to move the chair so that it is nicely positioned. I've got a little bit of, I don't know what it is, sticky stuff, which just helps me when my feet are against the chair. So if you need a towel or something, because your chair is wooden, hard, uncomfortable, please find some padding. Carefully bring yourself down onto the floor. I'm just going to begin with a little bit of bridge. Think about that wheel as you come all the way down. But this bridge, we're not going to use the chair for. The arms are down by our sides. Feet a comfortable distance away from the bottom. And you're going to think about that wheel again that we just practiced in seated position. And you're going to draw the hip bones lightly backwards. And you're going to think about that wheel as you lift up to a point whereby you can almost feel a straight line knee, hip and shoulder. Now I'm constantly thinking about the wheel going backwards. Very similar to the little seat bone lights where we thought about the dipped headlights moving into the full beam. And then we're going to allow the bones sequentially to come all the way back. It's almost as though now the wheel is going the other way. And again, draw those hip bones lightly backwards, peeling the spine. Imagine a softball in between your knees. Inhale at the top. And an exhale as you melt down. Be careful that the shoulders aren't rounding forwards. And again, drawing the hip bones lightly backwards. Keep visualizing that slow, steady wheel. You should feel this in the bottom. You'll feel it in your hamstrings at the back of the leg. Keep your neck long. And now as we bring it all the way back down, that wheel almost begins to go the other way. So you're thinking about the integration of the pelvis in the movement. One more. Drawing the hip bones all the way back and find that full bridge position. Now I'm still visualizing the wheel in my mind. And it's still moving in that direction. And we're going to keep stability in the left side as we pick up the right leg. And I'm going to reach it up towards the ceiling. Hold, keep visualizing that wheel, back to bent knee, and all the way down. Now I can really feel my bottom working on the support side. So we don't need to add lots of fancy, almost progressions in order to still feel this. The other side, think about that wheel. I'm constantly thinking about the wheel. And then I'm going to reach the leg up. Now does one side feel easier than the other? Very common to feel that one side is more challenging or easier than the other. And again, visualize that wheel and to the bent knee position and reach it up. And this time, we're just going to do a little bit of circling of our ankle one way and circling of the ankle the other way. And pause, back to bent knee, place the foot down. And again, visualize that wheel or visualize your seat bone, little headlights as we lift up the other leg. Collarbones open. Realize maybe that one side makes you clench the jaw more than the other. Maybe it makes you get tighter in the shoulders. We're circling that ankle. Keep thinking about the wheel or your seat bone lights, and we'll go the other way. Is it easier to stabilize on one side over the other? Has one ankle got more mobility than the other? And pause, back to bent knee, place the foot down. And we'll take the arms all the way back behind us. You can leave that bit out if you wish. And lay the bones all the way down, 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 finding neutral. And your arms come back by your side. So we're going to carefully bring ourselves a little bit closer so that we can place the feet onto the chair. And so all the way, and I'm going to find the feet onto the edge of the chair. Make sure your chair is stable. And I'm going to take a little bit of flexion into my ankles. And then slowly from there, I'm not going to articulate anymore. I'm just going to come straight up. Lifting, 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 but I'm still visualizing that wheel, still visualizing my seat bones. And lower straight back down. And again, we're going to come straight up and straight back down. So I'm landing in a neutral position, and I'm trying to pick the spine up in a neutral position. Up, and back down. And on this next one, we're going to pick it up and hold it here. And I'm still visualizing that slow, steady wheel,
Pelvis isn't really moving, but in my mind it's helping me to keep length in my low back. And we pick up one leg. And then we're going to reach that leg up towards the ceiling. We come down a touch, straight back up. Down a touch, visualize the wheel. Visualize the little seat bone lights flicking up to your full beam position. We'll do 2 more. You'll feel that hamstring. 1 more. Hold. Place that foot back down again. And whenever you're ready, when you feel that you're even, keep visualizing that wheel. Pick the other leg up. Reach it up. Lower just a little. Lift it back up. Lower a little. Lift it back up. Do your hands feel the same? Do your wrists feel the same? Lower a little. Lift back up. Visualize that wheel. Visualize the length in your neck. Do you create tension one side over the other? Are you still breathing wide and full? Do 1 more. And lift. Place that foot down. And we'll simply articulate all the way down, 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 and find a neutral spine. Now we tip onto the outside edge almost of the feet. And we've come into this little external rotation. This is a lovely way to open up the inner part of the thigh. So slowly from here, still in a neutral spine, we're going to lift straight up and lower back down. So I'm not articulating, lift straight up, lower back down. So this is where, if you need a little bit of padding, a little towel or something underneath the outside edge of the foot, you might want to take it, lift up, lower back down. We lift, really feel that inner thigh, inner groin region opening, and lower, and lift, and lower. We'll do 2 more, and lower, 1 more, and hold it here. Hold and breathe. Feel that bottom working, different muscles, and lower it all the way back down, 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 down. Bring your knees towards each other, bring them in, and just begin to circle those thigh bones around. Make sure that you feel really comfortable. Maybe a little bit of flexion feels good to you. Maybe just hugging in feels good to you. And whenever you're ready, you're going to pause, placing your feet down. We'll come onto our side to push all the way up. I'm just going to move the chair back a little bit. I'm going to come into a little clam position. So come onto your side. Arm position, just please be comfortable through your neck. So you can either have your head resting, you can be like so, you can be like so, or here, building yourself up with a little bit of a towel, some blocks, whatever feels good to you. And so slowly from here, knees are stacked, top hip pushes away from you. You're simply going to keep the feet together, open and close. Open and close. Open and close. Now I'm trying to keep that underside waist lifted throughout. So I'm really focusing on pushing my top seat bone away from me. Do you remember when you did your lateral flexion, if you were laterally flexing to the left, you would think about pushing your right seat bone down for stability of the pelvis. So we lift and we lower. We lift and lower. Now be careful of the position of your head. Don't pull your head forwards. Your eyes should be looking straight ahead. Lift and lower. Now we're going to lift the feet up. Same position, don't let that top hip roll forwards. Open and close. Open and squeeze close. Still not letting that underside waist collapse. Open and close. Open, open, open and close. Keep length through that neck, length through the spine. Pelvis very much an integrated part of the movement, but this time it's stable. It's not moving, your seat bone pushing away from you. And then we're going to pause, and you're simply going to lower the underside leg, and you're going to start to circle that top leg. Circling it around as far as you can manage, as long as you can stabilize the pelvis. Circle and circle. You should start to feel that bottom working. Circle and circle. And we'll go the other way. Around and up. Around and up. Around and up. And around and up. Keep thinking length in your spine. Just do a couple more. Really think about that thigh bone moving around in a very stable socket. Around and pause. Now your knees should end up absolutely on top of each other. You're going to very slowly push yourself up. I'm going to bring it around and do exactly the same on the other side. But I'll obviously spin it around. So from here, we come down, choose that arm position that feels good to you. Begin with the knees stacked. Make sure the head is in good alignment. Pushing that top seat bone, top hip away from you. We're simply going to open and close. Open, 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 and close. Open and close. So you can either put something underneath your waist as a permanent reminder. You could put your fingers under there as a reminder not to collapse through the underside waist. You want to constantly be looking at your knees, that they line up every time that they come together. Breathe. And on this next one, you're going to allow the underside legs to come up. And we're going to repeat that clamp position. And keep looking at the knees. Do they come down absolutely evenly? Do you visualize that you're working through a thick treacle when you're doing this? Open, 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 close, close, close. Open and close. Keep breathing. And close. Open and close. One more. Open and close. Now that top seat bone is pushing away from you all the time. The underside leg comes down, top leg up, and we're going to circle. So if you feel very wobbly here, you can always take that top hand down, bring it closer to the body if you are using it, so that you don't pull this shoulder forwards. If you don't need it, don't use it. Really pull that thigh bone back. So we're going for the hip opening, hip extension. And we'll just do a couple more. Again, think to yourself, does one side feel different to the other? And pause with them even. And now we're going to go the other way. Around and around. And around. And around. So really think about the best range that you can manage within the stability of your pelvis. We'll just do a couple more. Keep breathing, no tension in that neck. Last one. And pause. So we'll push ourselves up. We're going to come onto the other side again. So just spin it around. Still don't need our chair. We're going to do a little bit of side lying. And this time we're going to be up onto our elbows. So I want you to reach your top leg away from you, and your underside leg is just a little in front of you. So I've got myself probably 2/3 of the way towards the back of my mat. That enables me to then bring my underside leg forwards to the very edge of the mat, if you're looking for some sort of how far should I be. This elbow directly underneath the shoulder, really thinking thinking about the length through your neck. Remember, no compression. And we're going to elevate this top leg. Slowly from there, you're going to bring the leg forwards and back. We can flex forwards, point back. Flex forwards, point back. Now I want you to visualize all the time that you have an electric fence underneath your leg. Back, back, back. Forwards, forwards, forwards. Really keep thinking about your seat bone pushing away from you all the time. Forwards and back. We'll just do a couple more. Just as simple as that. Back, bringing it down. And we'll do exactly the same on the other side. So all the way around, doesn't take much to really feel that bottom working. Now remember, I'm going to move about 2/3 of the way back. Pushing the legs out, underside leg, forwards towards the edge of the mat, top leg, long and lengthened. Electric fence in your mind, underneath that top leg. Really think about length in your spine as we bring it forwards and then take it back. So then we can add flexion and the pointing of the foot. Flex and point. Be careful that your upper body is not rocking and rolling in opposition to the movement of the leg. So try and keep your upper body as stable as possible and that pelvis as stable as possible. Forwards and back. 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 We'll do 2 more. And 1 more. And pause. Stack the feet up. Rest. Come onto your tummy. So now we're going to do a little bit of work in prone. So I want you to now bring your heels together. Your hands are going to stack on top of each other. And we come into almost like a little frog position. So in this position, you got into an external rotation. Can you make sure that you feel that you're even left to right? And then slowly from there, think about length in your sacrum. Your pubic bone gets heavier. You're going to try not to be too heavy into your hands with your head. Really think about lengthening out of the crown of your head. Bottom ribs gently in. And you're simply going to lift and lower. You lift and lower. Lift and lower. And lift and lower. Now keep pushing those heels together. And you should feel that that bottom is working. So now we're going to get to work as a pair, not just single side. Be careful every time that your legs lift up, that you don't end up lifting your shoulders. And we'll lift and lower, lift and lower. We'll do 2 more. I've got my ankles flexed. 1 more and pause. You can take a little rest if you need to. You might want to just let everything feel relaxed. You can even just take your legs down. And we're going to do 1 more set of these. So again, into an external rotation of your thigh bone. Push the heels together. Super long neck. If you would like to come into a little bit of extension of the upper middle back, then please do. Breathing wide and full, lengthen the sacrum. We lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. So be careful that you're not losing the external rotation when you start to bring height into this. So constantly thinking about the position of your thigh bone. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Really focusing on breathing. Lengthen your entire spine. Lift and lower. And can you remember the direction of that circle that was constantly happening when you were bridging? So it's like a wheel going backwards. Imagine that your pelvis was still considering traveling in that direction.
So in other words, we're not allowing a big dip to come into the low back every time that the legs come up. We'll do 2 more and 1 more. Slowly from there, release the legs. Carefully push yourself all the way up, and any sort of release that feels good to you. That might be drawing those hip bones backwards, allowing the breastbone just to slide forwards with the whole of the shoulder girdle, and then carefully pushing the other way. We'll do 1 more of these. Really feel that you lead this movement from your tail, that wheel action, reverse wheel action, and pushing away. So we're going to finish with a little bit of standing. So you're going to come all the way up. We're going to use the chair again. And so from here, it's up to you. You might want to go for something a little higher. It's entirely up to you. We're going to stand, and we're going to quite literally hinge like so. And I'm going to come into a little external rotation again. And from here, I'm going to spread the weight through 10 fingers. And I'm going to try and go more to the outer part of my hand, more towards these 3 fingers, rather than the first finger and the thumb. And that does help you to connect more into the back. But I'm not too heavy on my chair. Now I'm going to go into a little bit of a knee bend, pushing my seat bones away from me, so I'm trying to get as neutral a spine as possible. And I'm going to take 1 leg back. I happen to be using the right leg. And I'm simply going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift, lift, lift. Lower, lower, lower. Lift, lift, lift. Lower, lower, lower. So this is not about height of your leg. It's about maintaining your form, and also really about thinking, can I maintain my spinal position, my pelvic position, whilst I move the leg up and down. Now on this next one, I'm going to hold it up here and do little pulses. Again, it's not about height. Think about your upper middle back, almost in a little bit of extension, so that you're not leaning too heavily on your hands. We pulse. We could do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, if you can, we're going to think about a triangle. Coming down to the outside edge of the mat, lift up and down, up, down, up, and down. So I'm effectively toe tapping on each outside edge of my mat. Trying not to curl my tail underneath me. Lift, lower. Work from your thigh bone. Lift, lower. Now you might feel this in your standing leg. Couple more. 1 more. And pause. You can roll yourself up bone by bone by bone by bone. We're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So a hinge almost forwards. I'm going for the outside edge of my chair. It just feels comfortable. Again, I'm in an external rotation. If you think about the bar work, that comes from the thigh bone, not from your feet. And then slowly from there, a little bend into the knees, which assists with pushing the seat bones away from you. Bottom ribs are in, finding that neutral position. And then from here, leg goes back. This is the new leg. For me, it's the left. And we simply lift and lower. Now we keep breathing. We try not to lean too heavily into the hands. You might need to bring your foot closer, further away, to see how you feel. Breathe. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Try and create a little bit of resistance as you lower. Lift and lower. We'll do 2 more. 1 more. And on this next one, we're going to hold it up here, pause, and we pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm still in external rotation. 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to come across to toe tap, up, toe tap, up, toe tap, up, toe tap. Now remember, you might feel this in your standing leg. Up, down, up, down, up and down, up and down. A couple more. Lift, lower, last one, lower. This time bringing that foot down, bring those heels together, reset low back, middle back, upper back, eyes. Hands can come onto your hips if you wish, and you're simply going to lift and lower. Face to the front, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. If you wanted to make it more challenging, arms can come up. Control the down as well as the up. Can you feel your weight between big toe, second toe? If you would rather not have your arms above your head, you could be out to here, or I'm more than happy for you to have them on your hips. Don't grip with your toes at all, work through your feet. And lift, lower, lift, lower. We'll do 2 more, lower, 1 more, lower. So from there, we're just going to take a little stretch. I'm going to sit onto the edge of my chair. I'm going to take one foot over the other. And I'm going to take from there, and that might be enough for you. I'm going to push a little that knee away from me. But if you can, a little hinge forwards. Be careful of the position of your chair, that your chair is safe. I want you to imagine the curve in your low back. So I'm slightly pushing down on my knee, shortening my upper middle back a little bit, feeling that little stretch in the piriformis region. And then coming up, and I just want you to think about your feet for a moment. Move the foot around. So think about all the little joints in the feet. You might want to just sort of twist one way, the other way. So I'm sort of twisting like I would maybe wring out a cloth. So important that our feet are fully functional for good healthy knees. So just move them around. You can think about every one of your toes, moving the feet, the ankles. Really think about the ankle feeling as relaxed as possible while you move the feet around. And then place that one down. See, does it feel different to the other one? Maybe it feels alive, a little more fizzy. And now we're going to take the other leg over. And we're going to take a little stretch for the glute, the piriformis. This may be enough for you, but if you can, a little hinge forwards. I'm not rounding my back forwards, I'm hinging forwards. And I'm thinking about a gentle pressure down into the knee. And I'm thinking about shortening the middle upper back. And really think about length in that spine. Pushing my seat bone away from me. And then slowly from there, bring it back up. And we're going to do exactly the same on this foot. So it might be that you make sure it's very relaxed. Do a little bit of manipulation one way, the other way. So really feel yourself moving all those little joints around. Try and make it as relaxed as possible. Might be easier for you to do this on the floor. Maybe it feels more comfortable to be down here and manipulating on the floor. It's entirely up to you. Trying to almost wring out the foot. And slowly from there, just feel that you're even left to right. Take a wide full inhale. Let all the air out. Feel how your shoulder blades just soften. And that's us for today. I'll be back with another video really soon. Thank you.